I was born in Buffalo, New York in 1960. I'm a first-generation American because both my parents were World War II refugees, and my brother and sister were born in then Palestine during World War II. My mom had a benign brain tumor a few years before I was born, so I was a surprise. There was a lot of fear about what that might mean for me, and I turned out okay. Loved math and science, was a Girl Scout when that didn't do me any good because they were not like they are today. I was actually a Boy Scout and a Sea Explorer. My husband went to the same high school, and we started dating when I was 15, so we're high school, college sweethearts. And Carl's 4 years older, so when I was starting high school, he was starting college. He went through that whole thing, and he was very inspired to become a civil engineer, so that had a lot to do with my becoming a civil engineer. I went to the State University of New York at Buffalo. At that point, we were on the city campus, but it was a strange place because of all the engineering. There was about 600 undergraduate engineers in the program. There was about 6 of us that were women, so it was a little hard.
We got married in 1980, right here in Buffalo, New York, at my, parish at church. And actually, the service was performed by the chaplain that was friends of my father-in-law through the war.
We decided that we really wanted to take a shot at building our own house. My father-in-law was a master carpenter. Carl had done some stuff with him. I had refinished some furniture, that's all I knew, but I can read, I can learn. And so we decided to build a passive solar house that would take us through, our lives together. And I might add, I hung drywall the day before I had our oldest son. We have 3 sons. So yes, I do live in a testosterone world.
Corporate-wise, she's been, working her way up, higher and higher positions, whether with the county, with the state, in private positions, traveling all over the world for her jobs, and then so being able to do this for the society, for ASCE is, it was an eventuality. It was a matter of when, not if.
Even at a younger age when we didn't know what it was, and again, being part of that organization for so long and just seeing her evolve into the position she has is obviously something that came from somewhere. So just the evolution of that has been amazing to see.
Yeah, all 3 of us in some capacity would make long weekend trips with her for ASCE conventions where we would be holed up in the hotel room or in the corner of the conference room while all their events were going on, and most of the time we behaved ourselves.
Yeah.
I met Maria through the American Society of Civil Engineers when I was a Zone 1 vice president. I met Maria at younger member council meetings. What I like about Maria is what you see is what you get. She's very honest and upfront, very professional. She's really conscious of ethical conduct, and she likes to give back.
The thing that was the most important personally is when I've been a public sector employee. Of my 41 years, 10 has been as a public sector employee. Acting as a commander during a disaster, because you use every skill set you have, and some you don't even know that you have. I fought 2 7-foot snowstorms in Western New York as kind of the person responsible for getting the snow out.
You have to remember that under Maria, she was in charge of a football stadium, a nursing home, a hospital, 3 prisons, 3 college campuses, and a 16-story office building and 240 other buildings. So there was quite a load there of things to be concerned about. Maria likes the challenge, and so she likes the fact that we're making a difference to this community.
She is just the most outgoing, a wonderful, kind individual with such a big heart. She's so easy to get along with, and she just reaches out to everybody for ideas. It's not about Maria. It's always about how she can be part of the team and the solution to make things better.
ASCE's been involved with the report card since 1998, and we had to go it alone. We were looking at the fact that we needed to have a baseline to be able to understand what we needed to invest in and how. The report card and what it stands for is important to me personally because it's a culmination of everything we do as a profession. It's about taking the technical skills and making the case for the improvements to have us ready for the future. I started with GHD in May of 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic. And GHD is headquartered in Australia. A big part of what I do is look at ways to amalgamate, for example, what we're doing in diversity and inclusion and what we're doing in health and safety. And how do we make that a bigger profile? How are we doing our technical stuff? How do you make that a bigger profile? So it's brand recognition, which obviously being ASCE president helps that somewhat, right? Jim Pyro, as president, said, I expect you to become ASCE president in your career, so you better work on that. So it's always been about leaders that came up in front of me that kind of encouraged me to step up and to fix things that I had identified as problems. And so I'm very mindful of that with people coming behind me and make sure that I make the same ask of folks.
You know, she is the role model for what engineers ought to be.
She's a fabulous person and she's going to be a great president, no question about it.
She'll be fantastic.
Oh, she's going to change the world.